feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me.
The sky didn't break. It just learned to carry his weight. July 18, 2025, between the pause in Jungkook's laughter and the shadow on a wall. Some departures don't echo. Because the soul doesn't slam doors, it drifts. That's how he left again. Not from a stage, but from the spaces we didn't know we were holding for him. And somewhere in the middle of a city that forgot how to be loud, Taehyung exhaled into the wind. And the world mistook it for a lullaby. The comeback that happens in reverse. Most idols return with noise. Taehyung returns by taking something away. The chaos. The pressure. The need to be seen. And somehow, in the absence of all that, he becomes clearer. Jungkook posted nothing, so fans heard everything. Just a photo. A lamp half lit. A teacup. An empty chair. No caption. No face. Just stillness. But ARMY knew. Because grief doesn't always cry. Sometimes it tidies up a room in silence. Someone said they saw him in Prague. A bookstore owner described him. Long coat. Camera. No questions, just listening. He bought a poetry book and left a folded letter inside it. No name. Just 5 words. The soul returns, not the body. And somewhere across the world a fan felt it. Without knowing why. Taehyung didn't vanish. He became a season. In Florence, the lavender bloomed early. In Tokyo, a stray cat sat by a violin shop every evening at 6 p.m. In Buenos Aires, someone played Blue and Gray outside a chapel without knowing who wrote it. He wasn't there. But he was. Jungkook's voice changed, not in range but in reverence. His lives are softer now. Like he's singing for someone just outside the frame. He doesn't mention names. But when he sings unreleased ballads in D major, fans hear Taehyung in the silence between syllables. And in that space where most people run out of things to say, Jungkook prays. There's a rumor of a song that doesn't exist. No title. No tracklist. Just a melody heard only once. In a forest in Jeju. A child recorded it accidentally while chasing fireflies. When played backwards, it sounds like someone humming a lullaby underwater. The child said, "It made me feel like someone missed me before I was even born." And the fans cried. Taehyung's comeback is the art of not coming back. You won't see teasers. Just tenderness. You won't hear countdowns. Just quiet. And yet, everyone's preparing. Not for a return, but for a realization. That maybe he never left. The industry calls it a hiatus. But we know better. It's a pilgrimage. A shedding. A vow to not create for consumption, but for communion. Because Taehyung doesn't make music. He translates silence. And Jungkook? He carries it. Like a psalm folded into his chest pocket. Somewhere in Lisbon, a wall now speaks. A mural of a boy playing trumpet to the sea appeared overnight. No credits. No tags. Just a phrase written in Korean. If I return, it'll be to the version of me you remembered without needing to. People stood for hours. Some in tears. Some in awe. Most in silence. Jungkook still has that necklace. He touched it in the middle of a live. Right when a fan mentioned Spring Day. And for a full 7 seconds. He said nothing. But it was the kind of nothing that says everything. This isn't a fan theory. It's a faith. We've stopped asking when he'll post. We've started watching sunsets like they might carry his breath. We've stopped refreshing his feed. We've started rereading old letters with trembling hands. We've stopped waiting. Because what we're doing now is believing. Taehyung once said, "I want my absence to be art." And that's what this is. An era with no comeback date. An album with no tracklist. A man with no map. But every road still leads to him. Jungkook's music sounds like a question now. Not a plea. Not a cry. Just a soft, sacred wondering. Are you listening, Hyung? And the world answers. Not with words, but with weeping. This is not just news. It's a soft revolution. In a time when everything chases speed, Taehyung taught us the holiness of slowness. In a world obsessed with noise, he offered us a sanctuary of stillness. And in an industry addicted to presence, he reminded us, true presence doesn't shout. It settles. It lingers. It becomes the breath between verses. And just like that, he rewrote the rules. Again.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along.
He didn't leave to be missed. He left so we could learn to feel again. July 19, 2025, between the echoes of a song never released. Some goodbyes are loud. Taehyung's wasn't. It was a hand leaving a piano key slowly, while the note still lingers in the air. And maybe that's the point. He was never meant to leave, only to teach us how to stay without holding. In Iceland, someone left a sketch of a man staring at the northern lights. The drawing had no face. Just wind-blown hair and a coat that looked far too big for someone who once stood tall on stadiums. At the corner, scribbled softly, "Even stars need to hide, not to disappear, but to rest." Locals whispered. He didn't speak, but he listened like the mountain did. And someone cried. Because healing often sounds like silence. And Taehyung is fluent in both. Jungkook keeps writing for two. In his studio, the light is always dimmer these days. He plays chords that stretch too long, like he's waiting for someone else to fill the rest. Fans noticed a notebook on his desk in a glimpse of his last live. It read, "V left a space in this melody. I don't plan to fill it." Because some harmonies aren't meant to be completed. They're meant to remain yearning. There's a piano in Seoul that only plays when it rains. No one knows who installed it. But every time the sky grieves, it begins to play notes that feel achingly familiar. The melody isn't from any album, but fans recognize it in their bones. It sounds like spring waiting for winter to forgive itself. They say it sounds like Taehyung never wanted to say goodbye, just goodnight. He's not absent. He's in every shadow Jungkook refuses to step out from. In a recent interview, Jungkook was asked about inspiration. He paused, touched the ring on his pinky, and simply said, "Some people don't leave footprints. They leave warmth." He didn't say the name, but everyone heard it anyway. Because names like Taehyung are no longer spoken. They're felt. In Paris, a fountain began flowing again after years of silence. Locals say a man stood in front of it for 2 hours. Didn't move. Didn't photograph. Just stared. He left behind a single rose wrapped in aged paper. Inside the paper, "To love is to leave just enough of yourself behind for someone to find you later." No name. But the handwriting, unmistakable. Armies came the next day and didn't take photos. They just sat quietly by the fountain, waiting, not for him, but for the feeling of him. Jungkook's voice trembles now. Not out of weakness, but because he's holding something too sacred. When he performed at a secret event last night, he paused between verses. A fan shouted, "Where's V?" And Jungkook, without missing a beat, replied, "Everywhere." The song slows down. Then he smiled. Not with lips, but with memory. There's a painting now hung in a Berlin gallery. It's titled, "I sang once, but they heard me forever." It's just a field of lavender. A boy's coat in the distance. A pair of eyes closed. The artist is anonymous. But fans left purple ribbons beside it anyway. Because some art doesn't need signatures. It needs silence to bloom. Taehyung isn't healing for us. He's healing with us. While the world demands content, he teaches context. While the industry pushes noise, he reminds us of the sacred in stillness. He's not rebelling. He's remembering who he was before the world told him how to be seen. And in doing that, he's showing all of us how to come home to ourselves. Jungkook once whispered, "He's the only song I never want to finish." It was caught on a hot mic. Never aired officially. But fans archived it heart first. Because sometimes, a love that dares not say its name becomes the only thing worth remembering. And sometimes, the most permanent promises are made in passing. Armies don't wait anymore. They tend. They water flowers near his old apartment. They leave handwritten poems in books across libraries. One read, "I saw a man with sad eyes smile today. I thought of you." No hashtags. No proof. Just presence. Because this isn't fandom. This is faith. There's talk of a collaboration, but not in the way you think. Not a duet. Not a feature. But a silent video. Of Jungkook walking through snow. And Taehyung's hum layered faintly underneath. No lyrics. No choreography. Just breath. Just wind. Just the sound of two people who never needed to face the world, because they carried it in each other. This is not a hiatus. It's a holy pause. Some artists take breaks. Taehyung takes formlessness. And somewhere between breath and belief, Jungkook continues to play the notes that Taehyung once left behind. Together they're still composing. Not for us, but with us.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away.